If there was a Shea, Gilgeous, Alexander, or Luka Doncic on the table, they might consider it, but I don't know if De'Aaron Fox rises to that level. They may believe Cassell will be comparable to Fox in a couple of years. This is what Brian Windhorst said. Just a few months ago, went to King about the Spurs trade with the Kings for De'Aaron Fox, and more importantly, when talking about how highly the San Antonio Spurs values Cassell, to the point where he has been considered untouchable in any trade package. It would not involve one off the 5 or 6 best players in the in-Bathit, is what the Spurs think of Steph Cassell, and depending on who you ask, people would either say the Spurs are crazy for thinking he is that good, or they would say it makes perfect sense. To believe that highly in a rookie of that year who is capable of doing things like a Cassell.
Cassell! Oh! Cassell elevating! Cassell by one defender by 2. Oh! Cassell! Much Mamu. Cassell! Oh! Cassell!
Normally, when a player wins Rookie of the Year, they're seen as untouchable, a prized asset for most teams. But the San Antonio Spurs aren't like most young teams. They've built around one of the most talented basketball players of all time. And that means every decision, big or small, is placed under intense scrutiny. Victor Wembanyama is already good enough to compete at a high level, leading many, myself included, to wonder if the Spurs should accelerate their timeline. Should they trade for more experienced players instead of developing someone like Stephon Cassell? And yet, despite that thought, there's something that makes me believe in the Spurs' approach. Can't quite explain it. Maybe it's blind faith in one of the NBA's most respected organizations, but I trust what they're doing. And it's not without reason. Cassell may not have had a Luka Doncic-level rookie season, but he's shown real promise and, more importantly, improvement. Post-All-Star break, his numbers rose significantly. More volume, better efficiency, and over 5 free throw attempts per game. Why? Because he's extremely difficult to stop once he gets downhill. That's Cassell's greatest strength, quite literally. His strength paired with elite body control. He changes speeds, angles, and directions with fluidity and quickness. Keeping defenders off balance, watch this. He catches an outlet pass, bursts forward, goes behind the back to shake off Harden, then tries to posterize Zubac. The acceleration, deceleration, and confidence to challenge a 7-footer, say it all, or take another play. In transition, he uses an in-and-out dribble, slows down just enough to bump Mikal Bridges, then finishes strong, despite Bridges getting a hand on the ball and OG Anunoby contesting from behind. Watch it in slow motion, the strength, the control, and the ability to hang just a moment longer. It's special. Even Chris Paul said it during the first day of training camp. He's strong as hell. It's cool to see. Good fight. Importantly, all of Stephon Cassell's physical, mental, and skill-based attributes are geared toward winning, especially when optimized to their full potential. Following OKC's Game 5 performance, we might now be just one game away from the end of the NBA season, which means time is running out to make your predictions on how the finals will unfold. And there's no better place to do that than on Koshi. With over $2 billion in trades and more than 1 million users, Koshi is fully legal in all 50 U.S. states. Even after the finals wrap up, Koshi offers markets on everything from Huel be picked 3rd in the draft to whether Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum will stay together in Boston. Sign up using my link. Anyone who trades $100 will receive $10 in free credit. Now, back to Cassell's winning intangibles. His passing, defense, cutting, and physicality, all of which we already saw at UConn. Of course, every fan hopes that a high draft pick becomes the next superstar, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and maybe Cassell will hit that level. But at the very least, he projects as a high-level cutter, a smart passer, and a disruptive defender, traits that contribute to winning basketball. His game also complements Victor Wembanyama perfectly. Take the inverted pick-and-roll play we saw Victor use more frequently last season. Now imagine running that action with a 6'5" point guard like Cassell, who can roll to the rim, finish with power, or draw defenders and kick 2 open shooters in the corner. That's an ideal fit next to Wemby. Then there's his defense one. Of the primary reasons the Spurs drafted him, while he had the usual rookie ups and downs, the flashes were undeniable. I watched an entire game where he effectively neutralized Stephen Curry, arguably the greatest point guard ever. Look at one sequence. Castle initially trails Steph off ball, but with help from Barnes, prevents the shot. Then on the second action, he forces Steph to pass. He reads a backdoor cut, fights through a water screen, and stays attached for 5 straight defensive actions, all executed flawlessly. His playmaking deserves mention too. Even if he isn't the Spurs' primary ball handler long-term, especially with Wemby evolving into a point Castle has the vision and poise you want in a modern NBA combo guard. Take this late-game scenario. 19 seconds left, scores tied, Castle isolated on Curry. Instead of forcing a shot, spots Keldon Johnson cutting behind Draymond Green and zips a perfect pass. That's high-level awareness, and trust especially. In a clutch moment where most rookies might panic or play hero ball, and this is what I admire about Stephon Castle. Even if his on-ball usage declines in year 2, his intangibles feel for the game. And two-way potential are built to scale next to a franchise player like Victor Wembanyama. You can debate whether the Spurs should rate him as highly as they do, but you cannot debate Castle's talent, basketball IQ, and winning potential.